Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the Doc of Detox show. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and today's show is Bioptron with Denise Helbling. Denise is a medical advisor, and she is here today to talk about this revolutionary, life-saving energy medicine device called Bioptron. Now, I want everybody to understand something, okay? All right. First of all, you've probably heard me say this before if you're not new on the show, and that is that we are light energy electromagnetic beings. That's the first thing you need to get. Now, I want to explain this, and I'll try to do it into a nutshell as much as possible. We are made out of 1 quadrillion particles, atoms, call them what you will. Now, guess what? Those particles, those atoms, are 99.999999996 empty space. Hold on a second, Darrell. They're not empty space. Do you know what they are? They're filled with light frequency. Really? Yeah. That's your spirit energy. You got it. So before you were physical, you were invisible. So the invisible creates the physical. So I need you to wrap your head around this and understand something, that light energy, okay, can either be good for you if it's full spectrum light energy going through a fullerene lens, and if it's blue light energy, it can take you down. It can inflame you. It can infect you. It can put your brain on fire. It can put your tissues on fire. It can burn out your nervous system. But there's the good and bad in everything. There's light, there's dark, there's short, there's tall, there's sweet, there's sour. Everything is opposites on this planet. So here's what I want you to understand is, remember what I said? We are 1 quadrillion, okay, particles, and they are over 99.9% empty space. But that empty space is the greatest part of you. And understand something. When you feed yourself proper electromagnetic light energy therapy, that's when you bring your vibration up. That's the only time you heal. Happy people have a higher vibration. They have a wider, more vibrating aura. Sick people, you can see, they don't vibrate. They don't give off light energy, do they? Did you ever walk into a room and you wanted to leave because it was too dark? The energy was too dark. You ever walk into a room and it's just like, oh, wow, I just want to be here. Oh, wow, I really want to be with her. I want to be with him. Oh, I really vibrate to that. That makes me feel so good. So understand, you need to get this. I got 2 more things to say, and then I'm going to bring on Denise, okay? And this is it. The first one is everything that you eat, everything that you drink has light energy in it. But how much? And it hasn't been corrupted. So if you take like fruit and vegetables and sprouts, they're full of light, especially if they're organic, especially if they're grown in the ground that wasn't contaminated with pesticides and herbicides and all this other stuff. So understand, the sunlight, the frequencies, because when you see a rainbow after it rains, those are all the colors of the spectrum. And in that rainbow, you're seeing all the healing frequencies that could heal every disease in the human body. Now, all of that sun and frequency is put into the fruits and vegetables or anything that grows. So the more it's respected and honored and loved, the more it will have. Did you know that every fruit and vegetable and everything you've ever eaten, the physical part has totally left the body? Not one part is left behind. Did you know that your physical matter in your body is actually created by the invisible? Just the light and the frequency that was in the fruit, the vegetable, the food. And how much does a donut have? Nothing. It's below 0. Antibiotics are below 0. That's why they turn on the fungus in your body, and that's why you get candida. That's why you get eczema, psoriasis, and even cancer. Because if something vibrates below 0, it turns on the death microbe, and then the fungus goes in to eat you up. But what if you bring in something that's high vibrational with tons of light energy? Well, you reverse all that, because guess what? It's the frequency that actually decides the environment of your tissues. And this is why we have issues in our tissues today. So understand, everything that you drink, everything you eat leaves the body. And the last thing I'm going to say is, guess what? Every cell emits light energy. That's right. Did you get that? It emits light energy. Did you know that your mitochondria emit light energy? But depending on how much light energy they have will depend on how healthy you are. Now, one last thing. Believe it or not, when we start utilizing the Bioptron, we could start bringing up light energy in all of our patients, no matter what their conditions were. We found changes in them. Here's the reality. Where do you find the most light energy in the human body? You find it in your spinal fluid, okay? So what happens is that the accumulation of what you eat, think, and drink and what comes into the body gets accumulated, and it gets accumulated in your core and your pelvis. And that energy comes down and it goes into the coccyx, which is the tip of the spine, and all that light energy will go up into your spinal column to then go to your brain and tell your brain how to orchestrate the healing in your body. But what if you were low in light energy? Then you're not getting the right frequencies to turn things on. Sorry, can't get the car started, don't have enough power left in the battery. So I need you to understand something. We are light energy beings, and that is it. When you learn how to feed the invisible part of you, you will heal the physical part of you. So let's begin the show. Good day, Denise. Thanks for joining me so much and being patient with me while I just try to explain where we're going.
All time. It's a pleasure to hear you and pleasure to be here in your show. So for those who don't know me, my name is Denise Helbling. I'm the medical advisor of Bioptron, coming right here from Switzerland. And so I'm really happy being here.
Well,
let's rock.
Let's rock this show. So can you take your time and really explain what is Bioptron? And everyone, if you take a look at Denise, you'll just see on the side of her shoulder, you'll see we've got one of them there. And there are different Bioptrons. But can you explain what Bioptron is? And maybe I can help along as well with what I've learned. How's that?
Sure, pleasure. Okay. So Bioptron are, to be very, very, on the point, light emitting devices. But the light that is emitted by our devices is not as it is from other lamps. Our Bioptron have very specified characteristics, and it's actually imitating the sunlight characteristics. So what you find there is you have all of the spectrum there, which we call so-called polychromatic light. Polychromatic light means you have all of the colors, blue, red, green, orange, etc., and also part of the infrared. And that is kind of why Bioptron can help in so many aspects, because you have all of these frequencies there, all combined, and can come to you and help your body heal. And
so we're talking, Denise, we're talking about a full spectrum light. So you're getting how we tell everyone with the perfect day, you want to eat a rainbow salad with lots of colors, because you eat a rainbow salad with lots of colors because you want to bring in all the frequencies, because you want to satisfy everything right down to your DNA, RNA, and mitochondria, right?
Exactly. That's perfect. So you have this whole bunch of possibilities due to having this whole spectrum with you. And this is kind of what's making Bioptron amazing. Now, there's another thing. What is very special about Bioptron is polarized light. So whenever you go into normal daylight, this light is not polarized. So it's very diffuse, going in all direction and diverse. Our light from Bioptron is polarized, meaning that all the waves, all the light waves coming out of it are in one plane. And this is helping you because it can penetrate the skin much better, much deeper than normal sunlight can do. And this finally can help you in healing much better, because you have this interaction, because it's going deeper. And this is kind of another thing that makes Bioptron much better. Now, third thing, what we don't have is UV light. UV light can be very dangerous for the skin. I think each of us at some point got sunburn. That's because of this UV light. Our Bioptron devices do not emit UV light at all. And this makes them so safe and actually really, really comfortable to use. And another thing that is coming with the Bioptron is that we have incoherence light. Incoherency means that usually you have all these waves popping up, or no, I start different. Have you ever watched into a laser by accident? Right?
Yes,
It's super harmful and super painful. Reason is this is coherent light, meaning you have a lot of energy that's pushing at one point in your eye or on your body, wherever, but it's especially dangerous for the eye. Coming from this coherency, meaning that you have all these light waves on top of each other. This gives them such a high power, but power is not always good, as you see there. With lasers, you can do a lot of damage. And with our Bioptron devices, they do emit incoherent light. This means that these waves are slightly shifted from each other. This finally leads into a low energy. And this low energy doesn't mean that you don't have energy. It means just that it's not harmful. Instead, it's kind of actually really, really helpful in stimulating your body, your cells of the body, very, very nicely, in a nice way that your body can actually heal itself just by getting that support from Bioptron.
Absolutely. And you know, the one thing is we've been utilizing this for years, and this is how it is. What we're doing is we're harnessing the most healing parts of what the sun offers with no negativity, no side effects. Now, if you look at the information, you'll see that Bioptron is a medical device, and it falls under a medical device in most countries around the world because it's healing on the skin, in the tissues, even down to the bone, in the organs. And then not just that, everyone. I need you to understand something. We have people that have such severe depression, even despair, that they finally find their best friend. They find something that can actually pull them and bring their vibration up, make them feel like they're loved. Believe it or not, that's what it's all about. Did you ever go out in the sun for 10, 20 minutes and the way the glow was coming in the morning, or as the sun starts to set at nighttime and you get that feeling on your body, on your face? Well, that's what Bioptron gives you 24/7. And the reality is they're going to tell you that that 2 to 3 minutes is all you need a couple times a day. But the reality is guess what? I know, because I've been using this for years. I mean, it goes up to 99 minutes. I'll fall asleep with it on my feet or on my face. And that's just me personally. I'm not telling anyone else to do this. But I'm telling you one thing is that there are a lot of other energy medicine devices and so-called light therapy devices out there that cost a lot more money. But the reality is they're not full spectrum. They're not polarized, and they definitely they're not as inviting. I've tried pretty well most of them. I won't say all of them. Denise?
Mm-hmm. I've tried so far only Bioptron, and I think it's just amazing that you have really this vibration, this energy coming towards you, and you kind of really feel how you absorb it and raise your own energy level due to it. Just by some minutes, that's already enough to get you a really boost.
Peace and calm and tranquility comes over you within a couple of minutes. And I kid you not. And you know what? It doesn't damage your eyes. It can't damage your skin. And we know that it's used throughout Europe especially for after surgeries, plastic surgeries, burns, you name it. What are some of the things that it's been used for?
Well, it's especially used in wounds.
Yes.
We have a lot of studies also done with wounds where we have amazing results. Sports medicine, people that have, cuff rotator or tendinopathies or
frozen shoulder,
low back
tendinitis,
pain, lots of these things
arthritis.
we do have.
Yep.
Yeah, And it's so amazing. It's super helpful in supporting these people dealing with that. First of all, with the pain, with the but also with the curing. So it's kind of acting on two aspects. Not only is it curing and helping you, but it's also reducing the pain. And this is what makes it really, really super affordable. Or
Thank
affordable
you.
might be the wrong word, but really,
No,
really
it's affordable for everyone.
helpful.
We know that. It's an amazing device that way. Now, the other thing I'd like to talk about, everyone, is I'm going to take a little bit of a detour here. But you may not know this, but I run a school called the International Training Institute of Health. And we do a bodywork technique that's called Wolfe Non-Surgical. And I need you to understand this because I want you to get this. So we'll have people come to us from all over the world. They'll fly to us, or we'll have our master trainers fly to them, and we'll go around certifying different clinics around the world. But here's the bottom line. I'd like to say this. With our technique, we offer a money-back guarantee that you're not going to surgery. We offer a money-back guarantee that when you come to us for your technique, with our technique called Wolfe Non-Surgical, that actually we're going to do more in the first treatment, okay, than all the other treatments you've had. I don't care how many different practitioners you went to, how many treatments you've had, and this is our money back because we can do this. With this, you have to understand that here's what happens to the human body. The human body cannot get the frequency and the light into the tissue cells anymore. Because of inflammation, because we're an inflammation nation, we create so much crystallization, okay, from lactic and uric acid, and from terrorizing ourselves. Tell me we're not fearful. Tell me we're not scared a lot, okay? So by doing this and by eating inflammatory foods, we create this crystallization that acts like a glue, and it sticks our fibers together. But then when we get the inflammation in a weak point in the body, because that's what happens, wherever the weak point is, it's like if you had a river and you had a beaver dam, that's where all the garbage collects. So in the weak point in your body, wherever that is, you're going to get this crystallization, but you're also going to get scar tissue formation, because when you have inflammation, the fibrin comes down and the fibrin collects and it makes you beef jerky like. I mean, when you know people that can't lift up their arm, they can't walk properly, they can't extend their arm, or they can't flex it, or they say it sucks to get old. Well, it's only because crystallization and scar tissue and displaced calcium. Now, you can believe this or not believe this, but we can go in and we can actually take that fibrous scar tissue apart. And guess what? When we do that and we use the Bioptron, it doesn't heat up your skin like, ooh, it's burning it, but it creates energy heat within the cells and in the fibers that allows the lactic and uric acid to move out, and it helps the actual fibers that we have lovingly pulled apart, whether it's a fibroid tumor, it's adhesion, it's arthritis, it's somebody with a hip problem, or they have a spine problem where they say they're supposed to get surgery, but they don't need surgery. It's just that the scar tissue has thinned out and become beef jerky. Once we pulled that apart, when we use the Bioptron, people can actually feel, okay, the elasticity coming back, the suppleness of it, not that stiffness anymore, because it's light energy that actually comes in between the fibers and brings life to it. See, when somebody has scar tissue in their body, you got to get this. When somebody has scar tissue in their body, which everybody does, and people have it more and more, that's why I'm as stiff as a board, when you have that in your body and then you use the Bioptron and you put the light back in, because once you bring, okay, here, I want to show everyone. First, you have this. That would be a normal person, and this would be the blood flow, the lymph flow can come in between the fibers. And in that blood flow and lymph flow, what is the most important part? It's light energy. I already told you that. It's light energy. That's what we are, electromagnetic light energy beings. Now, what happens is we get the scar tissue gets really tight, and then it actually even can create a knot. And that's when they say, oh, we have to do surgery. Well, we'll go in and we'll open that up. We'll bring the fibers apart. We'll use the Bioptron to put the light energy back in. And guess what? Scar tissue is now beautiful connective tissue, and now we're back to square. So can you tell us some of the other things that Bioptron is used for?
I think you already mentioned a lot of things. So what Bioptron is also doing is improving your microcirculation. So it's, as you told before, like blood flow is increased when you put on Bioptron there. So what's really cool when you have an increased blood flow is that nutrients from your body in case you have a wound or something, can go much faster to that site of impact, and aversive stuff gets much faster transported away again.
Beautiful.
And also one thing, having it with all this elasticity, etc., Bioptron is actually triggering fibroblasts to produce collagen. Collagen, I think each of you knows, is the thing that makes actually your skin smooth and look nice and shiny. So there you have it. You have it even for these purposes. Bioptron is just amazing.
Well, thanks a lot, Denise. Now you went and blew my secret. Because you know what I do? I do Bioptron twice a day on my face, all right? Okay, so instead of having a facelift, why don't you get a Bioptron lift? So if I can go back just a little bit, I want to talk about the microcirculation thing. I want everybody to understand something. Okay, here we go. 74% of your body's circulation is microcirculation. Only 26% is macro. Now the macro circulation is your arterioles and venules and part of your lymph system, but it's the lymph vessels, the venules and the arterioles. Okay, are you ready for this? They're the ones. That's where all the key is. You know what I really thought was very interesting. And first they said that depending on how you'll live is your genetics. Well, now we know that's not true. And then they said depending on your telomeres will depend on how long you live. And now we know that's not true. And understand, if you were to go into gov.met, into the government website of science and technology, you would find that if you go back even 75 years, even 100 years, scientists, all they ever talked about was one thing only, that all about disease and all about how long you're going to live and what you're going to die of is all determined on microcirculation. I want everybody to get this. Your arteries and your veins are like your major freeways, okay, that go through the city. But let me tell you something. To get healthy, you got to get home. And the only way you're going to get home is the side streets. That's the only way you're going to get back into your house, is to go through those side streets. And those side streets are blocked. If somebody has an arterial or a problem with their veins, varicose veins or arterial sclerosis, we already know that your microcirculation is, whoa, big trouble. And understand something. You can take a person and go, well, where's your microcirculation bad? Well, it's here. Well, that's probably what you're going to end up in the hospital because of, or you're going to actually lose your life over. Now, remember something. What do we know about Bioptron? Is that it improves microcirculation by at least 33%. And with other people that have better circulation, it's going to do it more, especially if you're on a good diet, if you exercise, if you're doing other things to help to support your body. But understand something, microcirculation is at the root of everything. And we know that Bioptron, when it comes to light energy medicine therapy, does it better than anything else. Denise?
Right. I think why Bioptron is doing it better than the rest is of the reasons that why our view light is so special from Bioptron, which I told you in the beginning, with this polychromacy, with the polarization, with the incoherency. All these things are very special for Bioptron, and other devices don't have it, or don't have it to that degree as Bioptron has it.
Now
that's why it makes it
beautiful. You've already said that Bioptron is safe. We know that. And but how is it for children? I'd like to comment, but I want you to comment first. What about children?
Children, very good. Because it is so safe, you can definitely also use it for children. Actually, we have a lot of fields where you can use it for children. Applications, dermatological disorders, respiratory tract infections. And there you can very well use it for children. Only thing is, with very small children, we always advise to have a medical doctor next to you, just in case, to be supported. But honestly, we are here on the market for over 30 years, and I've never had any report written of someone of some child especially, who was damaged by Bioptron. So really, really safe. use it. Use it for the whole family, for the elder people, for adults, children, even newborns. Newborns, you can use it as well. No problem at all there. Actually, whenever you have a Bioptron device, we provide you with some goggles, and for the newborns, just to, protect the eyes during the treatment. That's just for the very, very small newborns and children, that they don't stare into the light source for this whole 10 minutes. It's not that it's harmful, it's just as a protective order. And yes, I need to say that.
Yes, I know you need to say it. And I would tell everyone that, we want to have precautions. But I will tell you that, can I tell a story, Denise? And I hope you're
Sure.
I hope you're okay with this story, okay?
Tell me.
So believe it or not, I used to wear glasses when I was younger, right? I was wearing glasses when I was 12 years old. Go figure, right? So anyways, that was cool. So I cleaned up my diet and everything else like that. So I stopped wearing glasses when I was getting more closer to my 20s. I didn't need glasses at all, okay, because I started to clean things up. And then what I was doing is I was having reading glasses. Now, I'm only saying this for me, everyone, so just know that. But when I do Bioptron, I look right into the light, and I'll look into the light until I feel like, I want to look away. And the reality is you can believe it or not believe it, but I don't need reading glasses. I don't need any glasses. My eyes have been better in my whole life. I'm almost 65 years old. My eyes are better now than they've ever been in my whole life. So understand, this is me. I'm not telling anyone else to do this, but this is my testimonial, and it's a true one, okay? So, and we've used this on so many infants and newborns and children, but we've used it for almost every condition from A to Z, whether it's a newborn or an adult. And understand something, if you want to know if Bioptron's good, then guess what? Watch when you turn the light on, shine it on the floor, and if you've got a cat or a dog, you're going to find the cat or the dog is going to go and lay underneath the Bioptron, because you can always trust them, because they go by their gut feeling. They are instinctive. They're not programmed like us. Denise?
Yeah, definitely. Veterinary is a great field for Bioptron. I've heard, I have a story from, not from myself, but from my colleague. She used it for her dog, and her dog had kind of an infection in the ear. 1 week with Bioptron, perfect. And the dog loved it. She always came in and holded actually her ear and really loved the treatment. So this is really, really nice. And I think we have a lot of testimonials of users using it with horses, ponies, cats, all kind of animals. And all of them really say with Bioptron, they really got a really, really super cool support. And was not, all the animals really loved having the treatment, and this I think is really amazing.
Beautiful. So can you tell us, is there any cases that you would recommend not to do or use Bioptron with?
Yes, so there are cases when you don't want to use Bioptron, and most of it is actually everything to do when you are really, really photosensitive. People who have this condition know that by them. It's just that when you really have kind of a photo allergy, then we recommend not to use it. Also, not a very important thing, a lot of creams, or not a lot of creams, but some creams and some medical stuff that you can get out there is also photoreactive. Photoreactive meaning it reacts once you shine light on it, and then it has a destructive effect. So whenever you have some of these creams or drugs or whatever that is photosensitive, photoreactive,
Your doctor would
don't
tell you.
use it.
Your doctor would tell you that, though, anyways, right?
Your doctor will tell you that,
Yes.
yes, but
And-
it's not because Bioptron isn't safe. It's not because of that. It's just because of the drug or the compound is photosensitive. So even if you would go out into daylight, it could harm you. So be careful with the substances, but besides that, no problem to use it.
Beautiful. So I want everybody to understand that I don't sell anything that's photosensitive. Even our Beyond Beauty moisturizer You could eat that product, okay? So it's so natural and it's just so good for you. So the next thing I'd like to say is, especially when it comes to eczema, psoriasis, even any type of skin irritation, and like we were talking about earlier, wait till you see what it does for toning up your face and fine wrinkles, and especially if you start cleaning up your diet and get on our Perfect Day program as well. Okay, now let's talk about fullerene. Now and I'd like to talk about first fullerene, and then I want to talk about color therapy, if you don't mind. So can we talk about, if everybody wants to know about fullerene a little bit more too, fullerene lenses, which is beyond amazing, please go and watch the show that we did on Tesla lightwear, okay, and blue light. Tesla lightwear and blue light, okay? You'll see that you can go to EMF/light, and you can go to shop on my website and go to EMF/light, and you can click on and watch that video, or you can go into my library and you'll see it in my library on docofdetox.com, and go into the energy medicine guide, click on that, and you can watch this show, and you can watch this show about Bioptron, and you can watch the other show about the Tesla lightwear and blue light. Okay? Anyways, Denise, take it away.
Yo, fullerene. So all these kind of characteristics of Bioptron light I told till now are with our standard, or we call it also medical filter. Now, what we have as the only company on the market is the so-called fullerene filter. So just some words back. What is fullerene? Fullerene is a molecule that's made of 60 C atoms, and they're all connected. And this make up kind of a ball form, like a football it looks. And what's special now about this molecule? So this molecule is in the lens that you put on your Bioptron device, and then the light that is emitted by that Bioptron device gets transformed. And it gets transformed into so-called hyperpolarized light. Now, when the light interacts with these fullerenes, before it's going in a plane, after the fullerene lane is actually in a circular shape. This is what we call hyperpolarized light. And this hyperpolarized light is actually due to this circularity, it can much better interact with molecules in your body, because a lot of molecules in the body are roundish shaped. So things like collagen, clafrin, microtubules, exactly, that's the name, microtubules, have this roundish shape. So when you now have light,
can you tell everybody what mitral tubules are?
Microtubules are inside of the cell, and a kind of function, they're part of the so-called cytoskeleton. So the cytoskeleton you can think of like a skeleton for the cell, that it keeps the right shape. Now, and when you want, when they are disrupted, the cell is also disrupted. When you now, when you now have the hyperpolarized light shining on such cells, you can restructure these molecules again, bringing them into the right state, and thereby help healing your body.
And if I could say something, everyone, I want you to get this. Do you know how powerful that is? Do you have any idea how powerful structure is? Whether structure in your life or whether structure in your cells, it means everything. This is where you can turn on health or turn on disease. Everything is about structure, everything is about alignment, and everything is about balance. What do you think, Denise?
Perfect. Couldn't say it better. It's really nice.
Yeah, and that's why they're tubules, is because guess what? Their job is to capture the light. I mean, in the other show that we did, talking about the Tesla lightwear that I'm wearing now, because the blue light's starting to bother me, and I can neutralize that completely, and that's what I'm doing right now. But in the other show that I said is guess what? Your cells, they live off of light. They don't live off of salads, but they get the light from the salads. They don't live off of food, your cells. They live off of frequency and light. So everybody needs to get that. So how could I bring in the best quality light and the best quality frequency into my cells? Because guess what? if you really did some research, you would understand many different scientists have proven that cancer is turned on and turned off by a frequency, that your mitochondria is turned on and turned off by a frequency and by light. Did you get that? And understand your mitochondria makes your ATP, and ATP is your energy, and without energy you can't heal or you can't have a good time. And the reality is that the average man that's 75 kilos needs 85 kilos of ATP every day. And what do you think causes that? Frequency and light. Denise?
Perfect, perfect. So I would just suggest, also, this Fullerene filter technique is really something very unique we have. No other distributor has it on the market here. And I think it's just really cool to have this hyper-harmonized light, hyper-polarized light, interacting much better with all the molecules in your body.
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you something right now, whether you want to believe this or not, but if you were wearing Tesla Lightwear, which is fluorine lenses that is harnessing the light and taking blue light and making it into healing light for your brain, understand something. These glasses right now have just reduced inflammation in my body. They have just created a calm and peace in my body, because blue light, okay, will actually cause inflammation in my brain, which causes inflammation throughout my whole body. And wherever I'm suffering, wherever my weakness is, that's what's going to be attacked. So what we're doing is now we're taking that fluorine and we're putting that with the Bioptron polarized light, and now we've harnessed the best of light therapy that we can do. So can you tell everybody what is the best recommended way to use the Bioptron? And then from there, can we talk about the different Bioptrons that are on the market for people to purchase? Sure. Okay.
Sure. So first, what we always recommend is to use the Bioptron for 10 minutes at a 10 centimeter distance, so 4 inches. And then to use that once or twice a day for all the conditions that we are certified for, or we have in our IFU written. So it's what I told in the beginning: wound healing, reduction of inflammation, pain treatment, veterinaries, skin diseases. All that you can. Yes.
Also,
Darrell?
mood disorders, depression, despair,
SID.
just bringing you up and bringing your vibration up. And listen, let me tell you something. Happy people are healthier people. Okay, people that have more sunlight and getting more light are more healthier people. People that have higher vibration frequency coming into them. So it's always there on demand. I mean, the reality is I live in Kelowna, British Columbia. Right now, okay, we are in the November. In November, we start to get this cloud cover. This cloud cover is now here, okay, until the end of February. So the reality is Bioptron, I have my Bioptron on all the time. Not all the time, but as much as I can. Because guess what? You're going to see it in your moods. Go. I will challenge anyone to go and sit with a Bioptron for 10 minutes and tell me that all of a sudden within, I don't know, it depends on how depressed you are and how well your diet is, but anywhere from 3 minutes to 10 minutes, you're going to get a feeling of, actually, I feel kind of joyful. I feel kind of at peace. I feel like I love my life again. And that could be very important, because a lot of people they fall into despair and it's hard for them to get out. So understand something. Bioptron doesn't work on just a physical level. It first works on an emotional, mental one first, because the invisible creates the physical. And understand, so we're hitting all the realms of what we would call a human being, okay? And to make them into a light being. Denise?
I think I couldn't explain better.
Yeah,
I'm lost my words.
You lost your words. Well, the reality is that the fluorine lens really helps to harness and bring things up and make them even work more efficiently. And why don't we talk about, why don't we talk, before we talk about the different bioptrons, why don't we talk about color therapy? Now, everybody understands color therapy because in my book, The Perfect Day, How to Create the Perfect Day Lifestyle, Diet, Exercise, Nutrition, and Emotional, anybody can go and get that. It's in my library. But in The Perfect Day, we talk about the rainbow salad because you need all the colors of the rainbow to have a complete healing. But when you have certain conditions in the body, remember, every color, that's why, oh, I love wearing pink. I love wearing yellow. I love wearing blue. I want to paint this color. Color therapy is an actual science. So now we're going to talk about the science of using Bioptron polarized light and putting that through a colored lens. Denise?
Yo. So, as I said very nicely before, we kind of with this rainbow system. So I told before, okay, Bioptron is polychromatic light, meaning you have a lot of these frequencies all combined in one single device. Now, when you have these color therapy set, you can actually nail down exactly which one you want, which of the frequencies. And this is making it much, much more specific and also more to your personal feeling or personal preferences, right? Because when you can have your favorite color with Bioptron shining on you, this is actually much more interacting with yourself than when it's just a whole bunch. But if you're really, for example, I'm a yellow person. I really like the color yellow. And having that yellow color, it just makes me more happy than, I don't know, having a blue color or something. So, Darrell, I don't know, maybe you can tell me a bit more about your your experiences with it, with the color therapy set.
Well,
I'd be very interested
I
about that to
can.
hear.
Yes, I will. And the thing is, everyone, you can do your research. You can just go and Google it. But the reality is that every color, you can deal with every color that will deal with an emotion. You can deal with every color that deals with certain conditions in the body because, as I told you everything before, it's all about color. It's all about frequency. It's all about light. And you put these together. So what you're dealing with, it's like a pharmacopoeia of nature. That's what it is. When you take light, you take frequency, you take color, it's a pharmacopoeia. And when you're using the fluorine lens and when you're using color therapy and you're doing all these different things, okay, now I want you to get this, okay? Every drug that was ever invented could not be invented unless nature already had a frequency to heal that imbalance within the body. We have receptors in the body. So what I'm trying to say is every drug, and we know that pharmaceutical drugs are toxic, and I'm not telling you not to take them. You just don't want to do it for a long time and take a lot of them. That would be my opinion. That's personal, but you do whatever you want. The reality is that even though you might be able to get rid of a symptom that's negative in the body, you're getting rid of it with a negative frequency. Because if something's toxic, but you find that your pain is left, that your pain didn't leave, that's called a gut-brain disconnection and you don't longer have the pain. When you're dealing with nature and you use nature's natural frequencies, using color therapy, the fluorine lens, or using the Bioptron polarized full spectrum light, you can harness in a positive frequency, and now we're not trying to hide the pain, hide the inflammation, or try to tell the symptom to shut up. We're creating balance as deep down as the mitochondria, RNA, DNA, right down to the cellular level. Because this type of light makes everything right. Now, if I can go a little bit further, I want to say this. If you take the Bioptron light and you shine it on your feet, first of all, if you know how to do kinesiology, which is muscle testing, you can actually test the body and find out where you're blocked. Now, whether you want to believe this or not, it doesn't really matter. It's science. Just because it's new, it doesn't mean it's not right or truthful. And the reality is we have meridians throughout the body. Some people call them chakras. But understand something, they exist and it's real. Now, when a meridian or a chakra gets blocked, we're out of balance. And we have done this tens of thousands of times, where we've actually tested people after putting the Bioptron on their feet and shining it for 10 minutes. It will totally balance all the meridians right from the top of your head down to your toes. And that creates energy balances and gets rid of blocks. Now, how in the heck are you doing that? Well, because we have energy blocks. And those energy blocks are caused from emotional blocks. So you're trying to tell me, Dr. Wolfe, that we can use the Bioptron to actually get rid of an emotional block in the body? Yes, I did. And if you have that emotional block too long, it actually creates a physical block made out of crystallization, scar tissue, and calcification. If it goes on too long, you're pulling calcium, because if you have a block, you're creating stagnation, which creates inflammation. So then you got to pull on your calcium to buffer it down and alkaline it. So you're trying to tell me that an emotional block will cause an invisible block in the meridians throughout the body? Yes, which will then create an uneasy situation. So if you're not at ease, it can create dis-ease. So yes, we can open up that energy flow, but we do have to go and change the belief that created it someday. But most people don't want to go and understand the subconscious, that it creates all your beliefs. Let me tell you something. There are no stupid people, but there are people that have stupid beliefs. There are no really sick people, but there are people that have sick beliefs. And those sick beliefs make them sick on a physical, because the invisible creates the physical. The invisible creates the visible. Eventually, called a tumor, called arthritis, called a skin condition, called a mental disorder. Now, let's go back to what we're talking about. So you can actually shine the Bioptron on your feet for 10 minutes and create balance through those meridians, okay? I will tell people too, because your spinal column has spinal fluid, and it works like this. It starts from the coccyx, which is your tailbone. It collects all this light and energy and communication and information from your pelvis and from your abdomen, which is called your core, which creates 85% of your energy. And I say to people, shine the light on your abdomen and shine it on your pelvis to deliver more light, because your spinal fluid carries more light and information and communication than anything else in the human body, to go up to talk to the brain, to tell the brain what chemicals and hormones to send throughout the body to heal the body. And that, my friend, is called energy medicine, in which Einstein said that the future will be in energy medicine. And what did he really say? He says that the most important thing is to feed the spirit. You feed the spirit, you heal the physical body. And how do you feed the spirit? Well, you can pray, you can meditate, and you can also shine full spectrum light using color therapy or a fluorine lens that'll go deep down into the bone. And understand something, we are light energy, electromagnetic beings, and don't ever forget that. Just because you look at the physical part of your body, it's not even 1% of you. The greatest percentage of you is the invisible part of you. And don't underestimate the sun. Don't underestimate the captured sunlight and the frequencies in your food. That's why you eat a donut, you don't feel good, do you? Eat a few donuts, you'll feel like crap. You eat a salad. So understand this, between my energy therapy, and you can believe this or not, I wear my Teslas all day, my Tesla light wear to protect myself against blue light, which is just bloody well everywhere, okay? And then I have 1 blender drink to 2 blender drinks a day, and I have 1 large salad every day, which is a rainbow salad, a big one. And whether you believe this or not, this is 6 days out of the week. I have been, okay, and remain to be 172 pounds. I don't gain weight, don't lose weight, all right? And understand, why is that, Dr. Wolfe? How can you only eat a large salad, and how can you only have 1 or 2 blender drinks a day and then drink structured water? Well, because I do energy medicine. And I use energy medicine therapy like Bioptron, because I know this, okay? I know that light energy and frequency turns on health. And when you take the dimmer switch and you turn down the light in your body, you bring in darkness. What do you think, Denise?
Yep, fine. I think it's a nice way you told it with switching down the light, because with Bioptron you can switch it on again.
Yeah,
and I think that's...
we need to come out of the darkness and get into the light, and that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So I think you asked me before what devices Bioptron is actually offering.
Yes.
And you see here behind me,
Yep.
the one on the very top, that's our Medall device. Medall device is the device that we suppose for private persons, mainly. It's very easy. You can also have it with a floor stand to have it even easier and more accessible. So you, sorry. Oops.
So it's good for travel.
Good.
So it's good for
True.
travel and for using smaller areas of the body, right?
Exactly, exactly. Then we have the B Pro one, which is a middle-sized model.
And
So
that's,
you can have it. Pardon?
I was just going to say, the one that she's going to be talking about right now is the one that we mainly sell, and it's the one that I try to get people. And believe it or not, Denise, if I can just say this, and then I'm going to give it right back to you. I just want everybody to know that the metal, I try to talk people out of. I try to talk them into the second one, which she's going to talk about now, because it's a bigger lens, okay? And I just believe that it does more. But anyways, go ahead.
Sure. That's actually one thing you brought me now to. So all these three devices that we have, just to make that clear, they have all the same light characteristics.
Yes.
But the difference is the diameter. So as you said, Darrell, with the metal you have like a 5 centimeter diameter, which is pretty small. It's okay to have a treatment of a small area, but it's not as efficient. With the second class device, so the Bioptron Pro 1, you have actually a diameter of 11 centimeter. So you can treat much more at the same time. And you told me like in your personal thinking, it's doing more.
Well, yeah, and if I can say something, everyone, you know what I do? Okay. I'll tell you what I do. So what I do is, you ever see those beach chairs that you sit low to the ground so you can put your feet in the water? Well, I sit in one of those beach chairs with my Bioptron, and I'll put my Bioptron on, and then I just picture myself, and I whether I'm praying or meditating, I picture myself on the beach and just somewhere beautiful, to bring up my vibration, to create a really good feeling for myself. And I start with that every day, and I end with that every day. Thank you, Denise.
Perfect. So with the B Pro 1, this one has also a floor stand. So you can use it, put it on a floor stand, then your hands are free, and you can also shine it much easier on the back or wherever you need it. It's just much more comfortable with that. Now, last but not least, the big device here behind me, that's the B2, which has the largest diameter, so it's 15 centimeters. And with that, you can really treat a lot of area at once. And I think it's as I said before, I think any device is good to have. So that you have all these cool light characteristics: low energy, incoherency, polychromatic, and hyperpolarized, even with the fullerene filter. All these devices can do that. Just now you have to choose which one you want.
Absolutely. So, I want everybody to understand something, that, we have a lot of people that come to us, and after surgery using this, we have a lot of women that are now purchasing this because for their breasts. We understand something. Your breasts love this, okay? And there's situations that I won't go into in this show, and but the reality is it's the light that we need to create the coherence, the balance within the cells. And like I told you before, it's always been light energy. Like Einstein said, the future of medicine, okay, is in energy medicine. And your body is, are you ready for this? It's a walking, talking battery. And when that battery is getting low, understand, you are a solar panel. You are a solar panel in the way that you can infuse Bioptron light into your body and bring your battery up. Whether you're look at the biggest problem with people when they're sick is they don't have energy. So you might want to just say, how am I going to energize my cells to bring it up to a capability of healing? And that's the problem. Sick people don't have energy. Chronically ill people do not have energy. Depressed people do not have energy. I think the more that you practice taking in light energy like this and bringing your vibration up, because everything's a program. I mean, if you're depressed a lot, that's because you have a program of being depressed. Happy people have a program of being happy, you know. Just putting a smile on your face, connecting to your breath, putting your chin up, your shoulders back, right away increases the light in the body. But the reality is how do we do something long enough and strong enough to create another prominent program that I'm healthy, I am not sick, I am not tired, I am not weak. Okay? You charge yourself up. You plug yourself in to light energy medicine. Denise?
Yo, I think I couldn't close better. It's really uplifting when you use your Bioptron every day, and it's increasing your mood. It's just so nice, so supportive to have that light, I think. Do you have any questions now, Darrell, for me?
I don't think so. I think you've done a wonderful job, like you did with the when we did the Tesla Lightwear show, and you did another great job again, Denise.
Thanks you very much.
I want to thank you, Denise, for taking the time and coming on the show. And everyone, I know that this is actually something.
It was a pleasure.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Have a beautiful night, okay? And we'll have you back again. How's that?
I'm in.
Okay, I'm in. Rock on. So, thank you, Denise. Be well.
You too, Darrell.
So understand, everybody, I know that it's a device. I know that you purchase it, but the reality is that we need to invest into ourselves. And we need to use the power of energy medicine today. And I'm going to tell you why. Because there's so many energy medicine devices that are draining us. Okay? Our phone, our computer, the lighting in our house, the TVs, the iPad, okay? All the cellular communication, the 5G that they're ramping up. What are you going to do about that? How are you going to fill yourself up with light? How are you going to go in and create structure within your cells when your cells are being destructured by all of this? This is not fear-mongering. This is not trying to make you feel like you need to do this. But what are you going to do to get your happy on? What are you going to do to get that vibration to come up? That's all I'm saying. If it's not Bioptron, you need to look for something else. Look for something that makes you happy. Look for something that makes you healthy. Look for something that fills up your batteries, because you have 50 trillion cells. Those 50 trillion cells are saying, fill me up with light energy frequencies. I'm not the one who said it. Science said it back even 200 years ago. And understand something. Whether you want to believe this or not, light energy therapy was the biggest thing back in the 1800s, 1880, 1890, 1900. Light energy was like huge all around the world. Then the AMA came in and they said, no, we're not having it. They got rid of over 210 colleges and universities in North America, from homeopathic to chiropractic to naturopathic, 210 of them. But what they did was they took down energy medicine therapy and made it into voodoo. Well, you're going to tell me that the sun is voodoo? Are you kidding me? The sun is what keeps us alive. Without it, we wouldn't exist. Now we can harness the sun, and it's called Bioptron. Now we can do color therapy, because it's just like I said, like that rainbow salad. Well, you need a rainbow salad of colors coming into your cells. And remember, everything, what I said before too, is that everything that you eat, everything that you drink physically leaves the body. The only thing that stays behind is the color, the frequency, and the light. I hope you're getting this. So what you're doing when you use Bioptron is you're eating, okay, the invisible meal that's going to go right down to your cells and say, wake up. It's time to live. I want to thank you for joining me. So if you want to watch any of these shows, please go to shop, SHOP, on my website at docofdetox.com, 5G / okay, no, EMF / light, EMF / light, and you'll be able to see this show, and you'll be able to see also the show that we did on Tesla Lightwear and blue light, and why blue light is poisoning us more than our bad habits. Go figure, isn't that something? It's everywhere. And you can't run from it. You can't hide from it. And there is nothing else that takes blue light and turns it into healing light except for Tesla Lightwear. And I challenge anyone out there, whether it be a scientist or whether it be a health professional, to prove me wrong. Because if it is out there and there is something else, I want to know about it. Now, you can also go to my library, which is on docofdetox.com, and go to the Energy Medicine Guide, and you will find both of these shows in there. Please share this information, okay? All right? And make sure that you check out the rest of my library about how inflammation creates scar tissue formation, calcification, crystallization, and mutation in your body, and why we want to harness the power of light energy frequency. All right? Thank you for joining me. And I want to thank Denise again. What a beautiful person she is, eh? All the way from Switzerland. And, we kept her up past her bedtime. So, but luckily she had her Tesla glasses on. So now she's not telling her brain that it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So I think she'll be able to just cozy on into bed and fall right to sleep. So what do you think? Thank you for joining me.
My plan for this night.
That's it. Sweet dreams, Denise. And thank you again for staying up so late, okay?
Sure. You're welcome. You're more than welcome.
All right, everyone. So just so you know that we are still doing personal treatment and trainings. We're traveling all around the world. For those countries that aren't shutting down, we're going and we're doing personal treatment and trainings and showing families how to do Wolfe Non-Surgical, how to create the perfect day on an emotional, physical, and nutritional level. Hey, there's a practitioner in all of us. You need to release the authentic part of you. You are more powerful than you think. And for those of you who really want to get your game on and create that perfect day, go to my website, click on consultations, and you can pick a master consultant to do an hour consultation. We will tape it. We'll send you the audio. But guess what? When you fill out the case history, it comes to me. I go over the case history with the consultant. And guess what? For only one low price, and I mean it. I don't want to say the price here because I don't want to be like Mr. Marketeer. We're going to do an hour consult, and we're going to allow you to call us, and we're going to support you for the rest of your life. No extra charge. It's not about selling you things. It's about selling you on the power of who you are. God created you. Let's unleash that hidden practitioner, that authentic you, and learn how to create the perfect day from the minute you open your eyes until you go to bed. And wouldn't it be great if you could shine that light on your family? Wouldn't that be great? Don't we all want to become the light for our family? All right. And don't forget, I have an upcoming course in January. And there's only about 3 spots left. And that course is around January the 9th. Then it goes to the 29th. And it's in Kelowna, British Columbia. And also, don't forget, we're opening up Ixtapa, World Training and Healing Center in Ixtapa, Mexico. 220 condo resort where we've got 25 offices there. And we're going to be bringing in practitioners and doctors who have different trainings and different healings and treatments from all around the world to create a mecca of healing for you because you deserve it. You have to get trained, not treated. It's okay to get treated, but you'll get mistreated if you don't learn how to train to work that beautiful electromagnetic light energy body of yours. Okay? And don't forget, everyone, every Monday you can join me when I'm not traveling. I'll do it every Monday. I do a live Q&A called Doc Talk Live, and I'll answer all your questions. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and everybody needs to understand something too. People are getting pulled off of YouTube and Facebook all the time. So I'm also on Instagram. I'm also on Telegram, where I can put anything on there, and people aren't going to tell me what I can do and can't do. And I'm also on BitChute, okay? Also, when you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe And make sure you click on the bell and enable notifications so you never miss a show. And understand, all our shows, even this show, is going to be up on YouTube. And we're going to be able, we have it time-stamped, so you can find the question or the topic that you want. And that's with every show, even Doc Talk, all right? And if you want to get any of my shows and listen to them as you're driving because you're caught in traffic, or you want to put them on your phone, so you want to just listen and learn, go to iTunes, Spotify, or SoundCloud. All my shows go up there. I just want to thank you all for joining me. And understand something. We're all on this same journey, okay? We're all on this same journey called our life, okay? And today, remember something. You're the director, you're the writer, you're the producer, and you're the star of this show called Your Life. Okay, so take your power back. Better still, stop giving it away. And remember something. Together we can do this. God bless everyone. 3, 2, 1. You got this, Braveheart. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.